What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Chris.
And Paul.
And we're here to go over the
top 10 spell cards in the game.
With today being St. Patrick's Day, we like the green.
And me being the only person who thought to wear green.
I got green shoes on.
Well, we were like, should we do top 10 spells of all time? Or like right now? It's kind of just a mix.
Number 10.
Instant Fusion. Not played that much anymore, actually. Kind of was before. What do you think?
I think it's been power crept out.
I think when Norden was around, it was like really big. Yeah. Now it's like you only use it if your deck has like one small niche thing.
Yeah, and then like with extra deck space getting smaller with the new inclusion of
like Master Rule 4 and all that.
Yeah, Master Rule 4 like
it is harder because with Instant Fusion it's kind of like the monster goes in your extra monster zone, so unless you're about to immediately use it for another like link summon or something, it's not worth it to just summon something there and lock yourself up. So like, it's okay. But for what it's worth, it's had high times in the past.
It's had high times in the past, and probably gonna have more in the future just because the card is still very playable.
Yeah.
People just don't play it because we don't really need it right now.
I mean, people have wanted the card banned like at different points in the game.
People want it banned now, just because. So.
Yeah. So. Number 9, Forbidden Chalice. Now, this was hard because I was kind of torn between this and Forbidden Lance, because they're both good cards. But Chalice is probably more relevant today compared to like Lance.
Chalice, refresh my memory. Chalice
negates the monster's effect.
That's what I thought.
And it loses 400 attack and defense.
That's what I thought. I mean,
it gains 400 attack.
It's very offensive and defensive. Card is gonna forever be able to be played.
One of the only negation cards that can be used in the damage step.
Exactly.
It's nice. Changes attack and defense. Very flexible.
Yep.
Quick play spell. Everyone likes those. I think the only thing that's really held this back, like when it was released, was Breakthrough Skill and Valor being.
That's true.
At the time, better cards.
That's true. I mean, then we're playing Ogre again now too, so.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of tricky.
With the whole hand trap format, like which was the last format and this one. It's starting to look like that. Like it's no real place for it, but it'll forever be around because they're never gonna hit it. And
yeah, it's not broken.
It's gonna forever be offensive and defensive, and people are gonna always consider it being a spell card for a deck. So
yeah, pretty good. Number 8,
Twin Twisters. I think this one is like self-explanatory. Shouldn't have to go over it, but we're gonna do it anyway.
It's
you play Pendulum. I play Twin Twister.
Yeah.
Like,
Twin Twisters has had a bit of a rough time in the last year, though, maybe.
Yeah.
Because when it first came out, it was broken. That was like Burning Abyss and stuff, and they ran it, and that was dumb.
Yep.
Nowadays, I feel like other back row removal cards kind of do it better. Like if you're facing Pendulums, I think people would rather use like Anti-Spell Fragrance against them.
That's true. I mean, but depending on the deck too, because sometimes you don't want to lock up those spell and trap places, and you just want that easy removal.
It came at a time when there wasn't a heavy storm and stuff, so anything that could get rid of like 2 back row at once was really strong, and it still is pretty strong, like for what it's worth.
Yeah. Your
deck just needs a good discard.
And then also it goes back to the fact of it being able to get 2 cards off the field.
Yeah.
Like that's
in phase Twin Twister.
That's just perfect right now. In phase Twin Twister, chain Twin Twister to your opponent playing a second Pendulum.
Yeah, that was always that sucks too.
Yeah, it's real good card against certain decks.
And number 7, Soul Charge. This is a hard card to place on the list. And I'll tell you a card that actually didn't get put on here is Monster Reborn.
It didn't.
But there's a good reason, I think, because it just came back, so it's hard to say if it's like good.
We could speak on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Monster Reborn's great.
It's strong. Although the best deck in the game doesn't run it.
Doesn't play it.
So it's kind of weird. But Soul Charge has a history to it too. So it's at 1 as well. But I think Soul Charge is better because it can like make boards. Whereas like Reborn's kind of just a top deck. You maybe sack your opponent. But I don't know. I mean, Soul Charge I think has more like histories. Sylvans and Dragon Rulers and
that's true.
Like those kind of decks.
Soul Charge can start massive combos and just leave you with boards that are unable to be broken.
Yeah.
Like, and then your opponent gets rid of that. Like,
another card.
Play a Soul Charge.
I mean, I guess it's kind of fallen off in popularity in the last year or two?
A little bit. I think there's just no place for it in the deck right now.
It's niche.
But like once again, it's still one of those cards where it's like, if you play a deck that actually sends your monsters to the graveyard, you're gonna always look at Soul Charge like, should I play this or should I leave it out?
Yeah, I think that the balance, it's more balanced than Reborn, so it's kind of more like fun to.
It's gonna always be questioned on should I play this card or not. So
number 6, Raigeki.
Raigeki.
I mean, it's Raigeki.
Board wipe.
Yeah, it's a board wipe.
Like, you can play board wipes with every deck because your opponent does play monsters.
I was always surprised when this came off the ban list because like I was like, there's no way this can be like, legal at 1. But then that was like the time with Shadows and Burning Abyss and like things floated, so it was actually safe for Raigeki to be around.
Yeah, it was safe. I mean, even now, like, you're starting to see a lot of that with decks now, where they get stuff back from being destroyed.
Yeah.
Or you got like Astrograph Sorcerer.
Yeah, all the floating, of the like, it's actually a risk to destroy your opponent's cards.
Yeah, it's a risk to destroy them, but like having Raigeki there is still great.
Yeah, it's still strong. It can still sack.
Yeah.
Like it really.
And then it's a 1-up, so you play it, you draw it, play it. Like that's how it goes. Like it's a good card.
Yeah.
It's gonna forever be good. It's never gonna change.
It's a good side deck card too.
It's probably never gonna get banned again. It's kind of.
It's probably here to stay.
It's here to stay. Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad. There are worse cards.
The next card we got is number 5, Card of Demise.
This is weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of gimmicky.
It is, but like it could be so game breaking.
Yeah, it is a broken card.
It could be so game breaking.
It's technically the strongest like legal draw card. If we're talking in terms of like pure plus.
Yeah.
It can be. But on the other hand, it's only used in like stun decks and kind of slow trap stuff. It's got a history though.
Like cause it wasn't around for a while.
Yeah, well, when did it release?
Well, we just didn't play it for a while.
Yeah, it came out in like 2015, 2016, and it wasn't as good then. But then Cleaforts used it a bit, I know.
I think that was around the time people really did start using it the most.
Yeah, most recently like True Dracos, those type of decks, they really like it.
Yeah, and like I said, it kind of goes to like the anti decks.
Yeah,
like because when Klee started playing it, like that was when Klee had got to the point where it was main and skill drain.
It was just
stun, and you could put big monsters on board, and like you wanted that extra draw power. So
I think what's cool about Card of Demise is now that it's a little bit more accessible, because for a long time like the one printing, but now it's gotten reprinted so more people can play it. I think for casual players it's actually a like pretty good card, since most casual players tend to run maybe more traps and slower decks in general. So it's better than Duality or something. Yeah,
I mean, it opens up that avenue for the rogue, and for people to do cool things with it. So, I mean, it's gonna forever be a good card.
Yeah, agreed. Number 4, Cosmic Cyclone. In my opinion, the better spell trap removal card right now.
Me too.
Covers more bases.
Me too, and it just gets rid of the problem, because some of that stuff does activate when it's destroyed.
Yeah, nowadays Konami's new thing, the spells and traps have grave effects now. Everyone
spells and traps in a sense they float.
Like, it started with like Cosmotown and all that stuff. Yeah, it's like, this gets destroyed, it searches something else.
And something I noticed is like a lot of those effects are usually broken. Like when that spell card's destroyed, because I mean, it's a spell, so it has to be activated from hand or flip face up.
Yeah.
It's not a monster effect, so it's not as broken as just summoning, activating. But like when you give it that extra, it gets sent to the graveyard and it's destroyed.
Yeah, it gets some other little effect. It's annoying.
That's why we got Cosmic Cyclone. Like it just gets.
And what's cool about Cyclone? It's not like Twin Twisters. You don't have to like discard to do a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, you can just sort of use it. I mean, it's 1,000 life points or whatever, right? And it's not a big deal.
Not a big deal at all.
And
we pay more than that for other stuff. So
number 3 is Pot of Desires.
For a while, I was on the fence about this card. Did not like it.
It's a divisive card.
It is a divisive card. I mean, you banish 10 and draw 2. Like you look at all the resources you get rid of, but you also look at how the 2 extra cards you get that could potentially put your great hand over the top.
I would say it's become my favorite spell in the last year.
It's probably one of mine too.
It's my favorite because like you can put this in like decks that don't have any other draw power, and
True.
suddenly you have a way to get like a +1,
True.
and that's big in these decks.
And then you gotta look at like that card gave us the ability to play 60 card decks.
That's true. It makes those viable.
It gave us the ability to put together all of these engines in one deck, play 3 of everything, and then have 3 Pot of Desires.
And for what it's worth, I know there's always going to be people who hate this card. They like, hate the idea of their cards getting banished. But look, like the way Yu-Gi-Oh goes now, you'll usually like the stuff you draw off Desires can make you win the game like then and there, and I think that's usually worth it.
That's true. I mean, you gotta think about it. If you draw a hand with all of the combo pieces and Desires just gets you more combo pieces.
Yeah, it just makes the deck just has more to do.
Or it gets you hand traps. Like it puts stuff over the top, and I think
it's worth it.
It's really
the
worth
benefits outweigh the cons for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, as of right now, it's probably like this list. It's probably top 3 spell cards in the game easily.
Number 2, Upstart Goblin.
This card got hit not too long ago, a couple formats back.
Good reason.
Good reason. Basically, like the whole concept behind that was it took a 40 card deck and made it 37.
Yeah.
People stopped playing it after that. Now you start to see people play it again, where it takes a 40 card deck and make it a 39 card deck.
I think even though it's just a 0 as a card, the fact of the matter is like it's easy when you don't know what else to put in your deck. You just throw in Upstart Goblin.
It progresses you further into your deck and gets you another card. And I think,
unlike Demise, there's no like, oh, you can't special summon or you lose your hand. There's no banish 10. It's just you play it, you profit.
Yeah,
it's simple.
And I think it's one of the only cards on this list that like, if it's ever touched, it has to be banned.
Yeah.
Again, like I don't think they could put it back to 2 just because like.
It's too simple. It's easy. You throw it in any deck. There are no losses.
Every deck can play it. It does the same exact thing for every deck. And I mean, at the expense of you only giving your opponent 1,000 life points, which is easy to get rid of.
It's really
if you really want to get into it, they're probably going to pay it themselves to activate something else. So, like Upstart Goblin number 2, even though at 1, I think it's still one of the best spell cards in the game.
Got a history.
Yeah. And
number 1, Brilliant Fusion.
We've had at least 6 formats of people playing this card in a deck that wasn't.
Yeah, this card. It's used like there's so many applications for it, and it's kind of a shame because it's like an archetype card,
Yeah, it's an archetype card, and it's just as broken in that archetype as it is in everything else.
Preach.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what's really sad. Brilliant Fusion, like people are always saying like, should this card get banned? Should this card get limited? And it's never because of like the Geminites. It's always like just random Shadal deck or Lightsworn deck.
And in my opinion, I don't think they're ever gonna touch that card.
Probably not.
And that card's probably never gonna be power crept out.
Probably not.
Never. Like it's gonna. I think it's gonna always be good, and people realize that format's back, and they've been playing it ever since. Recently, we've just seen it being put in Gemini decks because it can do nutty things.
Yeah, there's that FTK.
Yeah, like
I mean, prominently used with like Trick Clown, Wolf and Fellis, World Chalice Fairy Lee, like in that World Chalice deck that won. I mean, there's all sorts of applications for it, so it's a good card.
So I mean, like that's why it's number 1 on our list. Like, feel like it's probably the
best play starter type of card.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you really want to get into it. I don't really think it's the most powerful card. It just does so much to so many other things. So, why not make something that's so versatile be number 1? That's why we think it's the best card.
And that is 10 spell cards that we think are the best. Right now, it's hard to say. I mean, like, this is very controversial, right?
Yeah, I mean, But what we want now is to know what you think.
Yes. Let us know in the comments.
Best spell cards in the game.
What are your 10 best spells? It's it's gonna be super subjective, right? Like you can say anything about this, really. So
like the format changes weekly with events.
It really does.
Something else could come out and be just as broken.
Yeah, like there's actually that new spell that comes next week called By the Grave, stops hand traps. That could have been on this list.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys liked it. Thumbs if you did. Subscribe. Notification bell, so you know we upload videos for a change. Yeah, that's it. So
peace.
See you guys in the next one. All right, cool. We're good.